Yeah, hey! How's it going? This one. There we go. So, so I have Genshin music on right now. Oh, one second. I forgot to change where my chat box is. Okay. Okay. Can't see any difference, but there's a difference. I promise. Hi, Core. How's it going? Y'all excited? I'm excited. I am ready for this. So I was initially going to start my training arc really soon after doing my benchmark art. Let's look at my benchmark art real quick. I wasn't planning on showing it, but let's look at my benchmark art real quick. The piece that I will be redrawing in a year to see how well this training arc goes. I did this in late October, and I was initially going to start my training arc right after it. I was going to post the speed paint, and I am excited for the training arc. We're going to post the speed. I was going to post the speed paint, and then I was going to get right into it. Well, I could not find the recording for the speed paint because I messed up, and I just realized that how I messed up and that I messed up last week or earlier this week sometime. So no speed paint, just the picture. That's okay though. Today we're gonna start it though, and I am excited and I am ready. And are you guys ready to see something really intimidating? Really super intimidating? I got it ready for us before stream. Bam! That's a lot of hands. We are gonna draw a number of these hands. Well, at least I am. You guys are welcome to draw along with me. In fact, I encourage it. Let's all learn together. Let's all learn and improve together. I'm gonna zoom right on in here. So I I'm gonna scribble out on the sheet whenever I get one of these hands done. Just so, like, I know I'm not drawing the same hand over and over and over again. But I have a variety of poses. Some of them are holding things. Some of them aren't. Some of them are foreshortened. I think I have a nice variety going on. All of them are photographs. I don't always use real life photographs for my references, but that's usually, like, a lot of times whenever I'm not using real life photographs, it's because I'm working on something where I'm trying to figure out how to do something like larger than life, like really exaggerated, and I don't quite know exactly how to exaggerate it. Right now, I am building up my visual library, my mental visual library. Oh, well, yeah, good luck on your projects. Working on projects is always welcome. I'm going to be skipping around this page a lot. I think I'm going to start with this hand right here. That's just kind of out into the side because, like, that's a nice basic hand. But yeah, I'm going to be working on improving and increasing my mental visual library. And hopefully reminding myself how to draw hands. Like, I'm decent at drawing hands. I have practiced hands a lot, but I'm not the best at it. And I can always improve. And the only reason I stay good is because I practice. So we're going to get a nice orange color to start sketching out, because I like sketching with orange. I would say I like sketching with yellow, but yellow is kind of hard to see on white paper. So I like sketching with orange. We're kind of going to start out with just the basic shape of the palm. And it's not quite a square or a rectangle. It kind of has a little bit of a jut right here where the thumb would be, where the thumb would sprout out of. And then it kind of goes out on one end. Okay. And from there, I'd kind of put little sticks where the fingers are going to go, I think. We just do this just to make sure I understand. Because the middle finger is the longest finger. Everything else kind of comes down after it. That is too long of fingers. That's some freaky fingers going on. We don't want our fingers quite that long. There we go. That's a little better. And I think... See, one thing that I should do more, but I don't, is I should try to break down what I draw more. But a lot of times I'm just like, thanks for the raid, Skyra. A lot of times I'm just like, da, 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 da. There's a hand. So I'm trying to remember how to properly break down hands. But yeah, how is your stream? Did you have fun? I'm glad. What were you streaming? Ooh, cool. Were you doing Unite or the remakes? Don't think the thumb would be that long. Or that bendy. Nice. Nice, nice. we are working on, well, I'm working on my training arc. You all are free to join me. We are practicing hands. Everybody's favorite. I said I was going to break these down as far as I could, and I'm not. Because what I would be doing is I would be going circle, circle, circle. But actually, I find that doing that hurts more than it helps, at least for me. Ooh, you got your 6th badge? Nice. I just read that one. Sorry. So I tend to like draw sticks until they bend, kind of thing. I find that a little bit more helpful. But I also, because like whenever I try to draw the fingers with like three circles like you're supposed to, I have never read Higurashi. I want to. Actually, this one didn't look too bad. Usually whenever I draw the 3 circles, it ends up very, very bumpy. One thing we need to change, though. These 2 fingers were not in the right place. So let's try the 3 circles. Since I was able to do it properly that time. Because a lot of people, when you're drawing hands, at least this is how I always kept getting told, you draw the 3 circles where each one bends, because each finger can bend like 3 in 3 places. There we go. Now it's looking a little bit more like this picture that we have going on. Now I see a little bit of a bump over here. Actually, this might not be a good color to do this in. So we're gonna add, but we're gonna add these bumps. And there's a little bump right here, and a little bump right here, and a little bit right there. Might switch to something a little bit more standout-ish against the hands. Hope that doesn't really stand out. Maybe I will do blue, because blue will stand out. Yeah, blue will stand out. I'm going to make this all blue, so this isn't the only hand that looks different. Alright. And there's some bendy bits. Guess the fingers can only bend twice, but like that means there are 3 little sections. Sorry, I said it wrong earlier. And kind of curve a little bit more than that. Hi, Strider. The training's going pretty good. I am trying to draw hands, and I'm trying to put more effort into them than I normally do. This thumb is looking weird. I'm gonna start it over. There's a little bit of a fold right here. There we go. We kind of have a hand. Look at that. So we're crossing out our very first hand. You know what? I'm going to number these so that we can come back at the very end and compare the last one to the first one. This is interesting. I'm going to do this because I wouldn't actually expect this to be a way that hands work. I'm going to be jumping around the page that I made, though, because I want to. So it kind of tilts down at the top and then back up. I don't quite... Can fingers go up like that? I guess they can. My hand can do it too. That's weird. Never noticed that. Okay, so we're gonna do like a little square here, and then we're gonna have a little bump where the thumb is. I feel like I'm about to sneeze. Give me a second. Okay. Okay, we're good. We're good. But yeah, I'm just kind of trying to look and see kind of how the thumb and the fingers and the handle bend and flow. I might not get it right the first try, but that's why we're learning. That's how we learn. That's how we grow. I will also say that while I'm going to try to stream the full 3 hours that I usually stream, there's a chance that I might not, and if I disappear suddenly, don't worry. There's a storm coming in, and my internet does not like storms. And I say there's a storm coming in, there's a storm in. It's just not at its worst point yet. Like, we're currently out of tornado watch, but it's just a watch. That's not how that finger looks. It's kind of how that finger looks, but that's not enough. Okay. Let's try the 3 circles. Maybe the 3 circles will help me. Now that I've had a little bit more experience. Maybe 3 circles will help. You know what? You know what? What might be important? How long are the fingers to the hand? Because I don't actually know that. So like that's basically the size of the fingers of this hand. So let's put it at the wrist. Okay, the fingers are shorter than the hand. That's good to know. That's good to know. That's why I keep drawing my fingers way too long. See, we've already learned something. Then this kind of has like some weird lines going on. I don't know anything about actual anatomy, like the muscles and tendons and stuff, so I don't know why this is a thing, but it's a thing here. So I'm gonna draw it. A little indent here. And some nails. There we go. There we go. We got a second hand drawn. Alright, let's zoom out here. Now that we've gotten 2 from the top, let's kind of find... Let's find another hand. Let's see. I kind of like these hands over here. Let's show this hand. This hand's a fun one. Actually, you know what? Thinking about it, I should probably start full on drawing these hands, like with line art and color and stuff, if I really want to get good. So I can understand where shading is. So I'm not going to do it with the first 2. We've already finished them. I'm not going back. But we can do it from now on. Because we aren't necessarily going for quantity. We're going for quality. We're going for what we can learn. And since I usually draw my drawings in color, it's probably best that I color. And I'm gonna try to color like what I see and not like how I usually color. So it'll probably end up a little bit more painterly, but with some line art. Oh, I've done that before! I have done that before. I've forgotten to go to the ending screen after rating, and so I was just there going, do-do-do-do-do-do-do. But there have been a lot of times where I've just not ended stream. It's like, I rated, my job's over now. Oh no! Oh, there's a little indent here. Let's make this a little bit longer. Since I think I drew the fingers the same length as the hand again. But I don't really feel like redrawing the fingers, because the fingers all look nice. These fingers all look nice. And there's like a fold here, and then like a fold here, like a fold here, and then nail, nail. There we go. So like, let's do some line art. There we go, there we go. Fix that nail a little bit. in, oh, and out, and then out, and then out, and then there we go. Definitely expected to make that on the first try, but you know, sometimes that doesn't work. Okay, okay, okay. Then like that. Then one line there and one line there. Okay. We got our line art done. Feel like this finger is a little bit too thin, so like let's thicken it up. Put a little bit of width in here. There we go. That's a little better, I think. We might actually compare the ending hand to 3 instead of the ending hand to 1. That way we have more of a direct comparison. Instead of a sketch to a full color. And the nails are kind of pinker. Nails kind of have a pinker vibe to them. Like, they haven't been painted, it doesn't look like, but they just kind of look a little pinker. And then let's kind of get a darker. Oh, thanks for the hydrate and the posture check. Those are especially important to remind me of when I start getting focused. So I really appreciate it. It's a little bit too light or too bright for the coloring. I think I need to go blue. I think the color, the shading is more blue. If I do a multiply layer. Does that look? Yeah, I think that's probably the closest I'm gonna get. I find a lot of shadows are bluish in tone, but I like using purple. Yeah, the flow state is really important. Whenever I get into a flow, I tend to get into like a hyper focus type flow, like a 12 hours at a time, no moving type flow. And that's a little bit, that can be a little bit oof. Not gonna lie. I have ADHD, and a lot of people think that just only means scroll, scroll, scroll. But there's actually a lot to ADHD that's not just getting distracted. Uh, and one of those things is called hyperfocus. And hyperfocus is a state where you get so focused that you can't stop, essentially. Like, it is very, very hard to stop. Like it feels painful to walk away from something when you're hyper focusing on it, because it'll be the only thing you can think about, the only thing you can focus on. you have this compelling urge to continue working on it. KSU's hyper focus. It's super effective. And I tend to get into it late at night. Work is taking a critical hit. Yeah. Like starting at 11 or later. So that's really bad for me to get into a state of hyper focus then, because it'll be like, all of a sudden, it's 11 a.m. I haven't slept. I haven't gotten up from my spot at all. Yeah, I got work done. That's good. That's something. Sleep can come whenever. Yeah, that's true. That is true enough. There's a little bump here. You gotta put the shadow where the little bump is. There we go. And then let's add a little bit of light. It's some pretty harsh color lighting there. A little harsher than that, I think. Yeah, something closer to that. Now I'm just using the same brush that I use to color hair. It's the watery watercolor brush. I like it mostly for hair whenever I'm doing full-on renders, but I also like it for things like really rough shading. It gets the same feel of blending, but without blending. My only job is VTubing and commissions, and somehow I managed to keep a somewhat regular sleep schedule, which is something I didn't think I was going to be able to do even with a job, because I wasn't able to do it with college. But somehow I'm on a semi-regular sleep schedule now. Like, it's not perfect. It's not perfect. Most perfect sleep. I definitely go to bed at 10 and wake up at 6. There's some variation. But I definitely have a more regular sleep schedule now than I did in university. Fingers are a little pinkish, but not that pinkish. I think that's a little better. Yeah, we have a full color hand. Which means we can scribble this hand out. I kind of want to do this hand down here. Okay, so kinda gonna start with a rectangle, sort of. It's a very misshapen rectangle, but that's okay, and we're gonna kind of make it 3D. I don't usually find this helpful, but I think it'll be helpful here. This is a very deformed shape, but I think it'll be helpful here. I think with what I'm doing, it'll be helpful. No, it won't. I'm starting over. Sometimes you try things and you mess up. Okay. This is why we're doing the training art, guys. This battle music is accurate. There we go. There we go, there we go. I don't usually like using squares for these kinds of things, but I think in this instance, it might be more helpful. Haven't decided yet. I might be starting over one more time, or 10 more times. Who knows? I'm excited to find out. Oop. Maybe bring this down a little more. This is also why I don't like using the 3 circle thing, because it kind of makes the fingers stiff. And look at that. Look at that curve. Like, you wouldn't think that Bones would make that curve, but they did. Okay, it actually needs to go here. It's making the fingers too long again. I need to keep an eye on that. But now I know what I need to check first when I realize my hands are weird, but don't know why. First things first, check finger length. Are the fingers too long? Quite possibly. Then one more finger. This hand looks weird. But it also looks weird in the picture, so I'm leaving it. I picked a weird hand to draw. Has some really intense angles and some really intense lighting. Okay, it looks less weird without as many lines. We're good. We are good. I think the thumb needs to come up a little higher. I think I drew the thumb too low, and I think that's the only thing that's left that needs changing. There we go. That's not too bad of a hand. Look at that. That's almost hand-shaped. And we're going to draw the nails. Because, well, we're not necessarily drawing the most realistic hands possible. We're kind of trying to get that vibe. Like, we're trying to understand the hand. So the more detail we can add, the better. Because we want to be able to simplify properly. There we go. Wait a minute. Oops. We're not starting over, but we are putting it down here. We did it. We did it on the wrong layer. It's too long of a nail. There we go. Oop. There we go. We got another hand line arted. Doing some fun coloring. So I should put... Wait, no, this is the fourth. I can count. There we go. There we go. Section. And last time we understood that the nails were a little bit pinker. A little bit pinker than the skin. Counting is hard. I don't think they're that pinker. I think they're... Yeah, I think that'll work. The tips of the fingers are also a little pinker. It looks like the back of the hand is going to be a different color than the palm. So let's grab this friend. I feel like this is the wrong color, but we'll blend it. We'll blend it. Maybe it was... Oh, it's just shadow. No? Is it a different color? I can't tell. We'll figure it out. Goes right here, though. goes right here. And to a lesser extent over here. Maybe it's a little bit of both. Also a little bit of this on these fronts. Now let's go to blue. Blue multiply. You can start shading it in. There's some really intense shading on these hands right here. I think it's almost black, but I don't like using black. So we're going to be using blue because it's a bluish. It's a bluish shade, but it is almost black. Prefer using things like purples and blues instead of blacks when I can avoid it. Because like using straight up black, like grays are fine, but using straight up black or straight up white has a tendency to limit your art unless it's used in small quantities, I find. Like there are times where yeah, you should. Especially if you want something super intense. But I find that using like straight up blacks or straight up whites, except for in limited quantities, has a tendency to flatten out your colors if you use it as shading, and if you use it as like a color, there's only so far you can go because you've used the extreme. Oh, this was the line art. I did the line art on the wrong layer. We're doing great, guys. We're doing great. Alright, thanks for coming. I hope you have a great evening. I'm having fun. I don't know about you guys, but I'm having fun. I wasn't sure I was going to enjoy a hand study, but this is interesting. I think I'm approaching it slightly differently than I usually do, because usually I find hand studies a little bit dull, but this one I'm approaching a little differently in that I'm letting myself use color. And I think that makes a difference. At least for me, it makes a difference. I don't know about you guys, but for me, it makes a huge difference in my enjoyment. And I think since I use color so much, it might make a bigger difference long run while I color, like whenever I draw normally. Alright, we can color in this hand. We can scribble this hand out. Where are we going? Where are we going next? Should we hold on to something? We haven't held on to anything yet. Should we hold on to something or foreshorten something? What do you guys think? Foreshortening would be coming up and doing like this one or this one kind of thing. The ones where they're pointing at you, and then the holding ones, I'll do one of the ones down here. You need to get an art pad so you can practice drawing? Art pads are handy, but any piece of paper also works for practicing drawing. I used to draw in notebooks. That used to be my sketchbook. I used to get little cheap notebooks and I would draw in those. And then I started getting like money from report cards, and then I started buying sketchbooks. And then getting money from jobs, and then buying sketchbooks. And then getting sketchbooks for Christmas. Let's draw a pencil. But yeah, I definitely would draw in anything possible at the very beginning. We're drawing the base of the hand. I think we need to give this hand a little bit more room. I'm actually really excited to draw this hand because this hand has a little bit softer shading to it. Like, yeah, it's really dark down here, but it's there's a lot more warmer tones in it, so I'm excited to draw it. But yeah, I wholeheartedly encourage anybody who would want to draw along with me. Because it's more fun when you learn alongside somebody, right? Or is that just me? I like learning skills with other people. I like doing a lot of things with other people. I like to say that I'm a cursed extrovert. Not saying that extroverts are bad, but like I can't be around a lot of noise. And people tend to bring noise. So I'm a cursed extrovert, and I think that's the best way for me to look at it. Because no matter how much I think I have gone past, I kicked my desk, gotten past my edgy stage in life, there's a part of it that's always like, but edgy is cool. Like, I'm definitely not edgy anymore, but holy heck, sometimes the inner edge is just like, just wants to come out and play. And be like, yeah. Okay, I'm having trouble with this one. So let's take a look at it. The edge never truly leaves a person. Yeah, that's true. There's always that part where you see something edgy or someone edgy and you're like, oh, how edgy, lol. But in your head, you're like, that's kind of awesome, though. Yeah, I'm really having trouble with this hand. Let me... Oh, that's why. Okay. So, thought this was not part of the pencil. I thought it was negative space. With knowing that it is part of the pencil, we can kind of curve that where it needs to be. But then these two fingers can... Nope, that's still wrong. We're starting over. We're just gonna start over. Sometimes you mess up, and that's okay. And it's especially okay when you're learning. When you're learning and when you're practicing, you should always expect to mess up, and you should be okay with it. Okay, I'm gonna try it one more time like this. And if that doesn't work, then I'm gonna go into the drawing itself, and I'm gonna... Technically, people call it redlining, but since I'm using a blue brush, I'll call it blue lining. But essentially figuring out where things fall by drawing on the reference picture. So this is... Oh. That is too much of a thing. There we go. That's about where it needs to be. And then kind of rests on it. But like goes off a little bit. And then this is where the finger starts. This is such intense music right now. This music is so intense. It's making me giggle. I feel like there's more of a curve in this hand. And that might be part of my problem, is that I'm not curving this hand enough. Oh my... I think I'm making it worse. I think I'm making my hand worse. Well, this is why we're doing training arcs. This is why we're drawing them. Give me a second. Give me a second. That was really bad for a second. I'm currently on a Genshin Impact playlist right now. Because I know Twitch doesn't mute game music. I'm doing great, 24. I'm doing great. I am laughing too hard to see my screen properly, but I'm doing great. I've got the giggles now. Okay. It's okay, guys. Okay. make it a little bit curvy. Whoa, does that almost look like a hand? Whoa, what? Whoa, what? Did we almost get a hand drawn? There you go. I'm gonna lower this finger a little bit. Okay. I think that looks decent. There's some things you can fix. I'm not gonna touch this finger too terribly much, because I don't want to mess it up. It's the weakest part, but I don't want to mess it up. But I think that looks okay. And I drew it on the wrong layer again. 1 second. There we go. You know what? I'm gonna merge these layers together of all the finished ones. There we go. That way I don't have to fight between a million layers. Oop. This finger's gonna give me trouble in sketch and line art. Okay. Uh, How can we fix this without starting over? I don't think we can. I think I'm just gonna have to accept my fate with this one. Okay, 1 second. 1 second. I'm gonna try to mimic this with my actual hand. See if I can't understand the hand better. Nope. I don't get it. I don't get it. Let's try putting the thumb up. Thumb up here. Oh. And only showing a little bit of that. Maybe that helped a little? Not a lot. I think that made it worse. We're going with it. We're going with it. We're accepting our fate. We're accepting our fate and going with it. Like, maybe we shouldn't, since this is a training stream, but I don't know if I can get any better this time. Only thing about that reference pic, there's a gap between the upper thumb and the pencil. There's no ring finger. Oh! Oh yeah, I know. But I put it feels weird putting it lower. We can try putting it lower. Doing something like this. Just closer to the reference pic. But I don't necessarily think that fixes what's wrong with the hand. Maybe... I need to make these a little longer. Man, it's gonna be easy to tell that I had trouble with this hand. Yeah, I don't... Like, I think it matches the reference pic back better, but I don't necessarily think it either improved or messed up how the picture looks. I think it essentially looks just as weird as it was before. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. Then kind of make the fingers a little pink. Oh. We can have a rough hand. It's a training arc. We can have a rough hand. Yeah, it's a training arc. Oh. Doing it wrong. There we go. Selection. Gotta make the thumbnails pink. Or, yeah, the thumbnail pink. All the nails pink, but the thumbnail is the only one you see here. A little bit brighter pink, I think. There's this little white bit. Didn't notice the white bit before, but there's a little white bit. There we go. We have nails. Well, we have a nail. I think it needs to be a little bit less that pink. There we go. Maybe a little lighter. There we go. There we go. I think that works. I think that works. And then we'll get the brown of the pencil. And we'll make a dark blue to go along with the pencil. Because I don't like using black. Multiply layer. A lot of shadows in real life are blue. Like they're blue-gray color. I like using purple for my shadows. I feel like it gives it a little bit more color. But a lot of shadows in nature are blue. Unless like there's some interesting lighting going on. See a little bit of light in these two fingers. And we have 5 done. I'm calling that done. I'm calling it done and we're moving on. We're gonna scribble it out and move on. Goodbye. I still love that little Poplio emote. I love it. I don't know if I had actually gone live, like, vocal whenever I said that last stream. I might not have. I might have just said it to Sophie. But let's do a foreshortening one. Because the last challenging one turned out so well. That foreshortening one's really greedy. So let's go to this one, see if we can't get a good look at these friends. Oh my goodness, this hand looks so super weird, just splayed out and flat like that. I should probably do one of those today, but I don't want to do it right now. Because I would never understand if it's right or not. Let's see. What hand do we want to do? I might not do a foreshortening one. We've done quite a few hands. What a nice number of hands. Oh my goodness, let's do this fist that looks like it's coming for us. This fist looks like it's coming for us. Let's do it. This fist wants to fight me, so I'm gonna fight it back. It looks handy. You're funny. Okay. So it's important to also draw where the hand is connected, what the hand's connected to, whether it be the wrist or the arm. Because otherwise, we won't know how to connect them when we put it with the other art. So these two fingers coming right at us. These two fingers kind of hiding away. Now, this one's kind of like maybe I'll join you in coming for them. The pinky's definitely hiding away. Thumb's like, I'll support you, bro. Okay. This one's kind of pointing out. This one's kind of pointing down. This one's kind of pointing out. No. This one's kind of pointing out. That part's right. It's kind of pointing out. Don't get to see much of this, but we know it's there. And the pinky's only a little there. Like there's a little bit of connecty bit here and here, but you don't really see it with the pinky because the pinky's hiding. Maybe you see it a little bit with the pinky. There's a little bit of connecty bits. And then there's a little going in bit. And then it kind of curls inward and you don't really see much of the point. Does fist look out like it's coming at you yet? I think I need to make it bigger. There. We fighting yet? I don't want to fight you guys, but this fist wants to fight, so we're fighting the fist. We gotta make this fist look intimidating so it fights the other fist. I don't know where I'm going with this story now. No, I don't know where I was going with that. But I'm not fighting you, chat. Don't worry. I like you guys too much to fight you. Alright. We're gonna... do some fun things with the line art, maybe. I feel like this pinky needs to be less. I feel like we need less pinky. These two are the danger fingers. These two are the fingers that are coming right at you. I think the thumb kind of covers this a little bit. There we go. Need to actually make this line a little longer. I drew the arm wrong. I should do arm references, or arm drawings. Should have made this a full arm thing. There we go. That's a little better. This line doesn't need to go up quite that far out. There we go. That looks a little better. And then we'll make that a little bit less dynamic there. But more dynamic with the line art. I wonder if we add like that. Does that work? Does that make it look kind of like it's coming at you? I don't think so. It's the wrong angle. I think it actually needs something like that kind of thing, where it's like, instead of like motion lines. But I'm not doing that. We've already kind of gotten off track with making dynamic line art. Look, my ADHD meds have worn off. I will not claim to be able to focus. I will not claim that my focus is anything other than non-existent right now. Actually, I don't think that's a good color for this hand. There we go. It's the same. It's from the... No, it's not. It's from a different group. Okay, that's why it's a different color. Okay. Forgot. I grabbed a bunch of different groups of hands from my hand reference folder. And then multiply. And make it blue. Oh, thanks to the hydrate. Okay, so this one actually has a really bit of interesting shading going on, or shadows going on. And we're going to play with that in a second. Because you see some of the light on the underside. Like you see a little bit of light down here. Actually, this shadow is kind of a warmer color. I am going to go into almost a purple. We're going into an almost purple. Since it's not... Well, it is a purple. Let me go into more blue. Something a little more blue. There we go. Don't know if there's any difference there, but... Shadow is definitely warmer over here. I like color. Found a way to make drawing hands interesting to me, and I'm gonna stick with it. That's kind of what you gotta do whenever you're doing something you don't necessarily want to do, but you kind of gotta do. So you find what makes it interesting for you. I know I technically don't have to do hand practice, but if I want to get better at hands, I do. And I would like to get better at hands. But right now hands are hard, so I don't want to do them. The voice of one of my favorite art teachers, my favorite high school art teacher, is coming back to me going, just because something's hard doesn't mean it's not worth doing. And gosh, did I love throwing that back in her face. She would try to talk me out of doing too difficult art projects, and because like I would be in the beginner class because it was a prerequisite, not because like that was necessarily where my skill level was. I knew it wasn't. And so I would do the more advanced stuff, and I would take on more advanced compositions while still doing like the projects that she assigned. And she would go and I would tell her what I was doing because she had everybody go up and tell her what they were doing, and she'd be like, "That's that," or she would walk around and see what I'm doing, one or the other. She's like, that's a really difficult composition. I'm like, I know. She's like, here's how you can make it easier. Thanks, but I'm good. Are you sure? I'm not giving you an extension. I won't need it. Well, it's a really tough composition. I'm like, just because something's hard doesn't mean it's not worth doing. Never needed an extension. This is the same art teacher who continuously threatened to call my mom because I was a brat. Like, I wasn't... I don't want to say I was outright disrespectful, but I was a little sassy, because I'm a little sassy to everyone. And I didn't necessarily understand that I wasn't allowed to be sassy. Because I was allowed to be sassy at home. None of the other teachers minded it. Not that I talked to many of the other teachers a lot. Comparatively, because, like, art, there's more communication going on in, like, art classes than anywhere else. And so she'd say something, and I'd say something sassy back. She'd be like, do you talk to your mother that way? And I'm like, yeah. She's like, are you sure that's the answer you want to go with? And I'm like, yeah, because I do. She's like, I have her number. Because they work, well, first off, she's a parent. My mom's a parent. But secondly, they work in the same school district. They were both art teachers in the same school district. And so I was like, yeah, I know. It's like, so I could call her. And I'm like, go ahead. It's a little bit of a brat. But I always listened to her. It wasn't like I was outright disrespectful or like chatting in class, chatting over her or anything like that. I would just occasionally get a little too sassy. Now that is a good fist. I did that fist really well for not drawing fists a whole lot. That's a really dynamic fist, if I do say so myself. Like, let's just take a moment to admire that fist. I think the only way to make it a little bit more dynamic. I'm not going to do this with all of the hands, but that fist do be a fist. Yeah, it do very much be a fist. Do I like that? This is a little bit more of a dynamic fist. All right. Let's color it out before I try to make it even more dynamic. Because I will. Like don't doubt me, I will. Let's do this hand. Let's come back over here and do this hand. First day, I'm going to take a short little look-see at the weather. Because just to make sure, Mom really thinks there's going to be a big tornado, but there was only a tornado watch when I started stream. But I do want to double check that everything is going to be okay. Okay, yeah, it's still a tornado watch. We're good. We're good. Yeah. I live in like Midwest United States, so we get tornadoes a lot. Mom thinks there's gonna be a really bad one tonight. I think she saw it on the news somewhere or something. But right now we only have a tornado watch, so I can keep going. But yeah, I always preach safety whenever I talk to people about streaming and like doing things like this. And so I should probably also be safe. Usually I'm saying it in terms of health, but like I feel like this also counts. I shouldn't be a hypocrite. And so I should keep an eye on the weather so I'm not like suddenly tornado. But speaking of tornadoes, let me tell you about the time I lived up to my the whole Midwesterner reputation when it comes to tornadoes. No, I'm trying to live up to the be healthy, be safe. I'm keeping an eye on the weather. Yeah, story time. So, I was in 6th grade. We had a category, or whatever the category rating system is for tornadoes. We had like F. Okay, it's F4 or F5. It was one of those. It was one of the really bad ones. I can't remember because I was in 6th grade. And I'm no longer in 6th grade. I am now an adult. But it was, I think it was an F5. It might have been an F4. Regardless. When I was a kid, I didn't always feel like going to bed. Like, I would do my whole bedtime thing. Sometimes I would just conk out on the floor, though. If it was before my bedtime and I fell asleep. And that was one of the days that I just fell asleep on the floor right in front of the glass door that led to the backyard, the glass sliding door. My sister and exchange sister were on the couch a few feet behind me. Woke up in the morning to no power. Mom was angry because the power went out at the drop of a hat anyway in our neighborhood at the time. She called the power company asking what was wrong, what the problem was this time, and they're like, "Yeah, you had a category. You had like an F4 tornado, F5, something in that nature. I really can't remember." And she's like, "No, it's sunny out." But yeah, we did have like a super big tornado that destroyed half the town. And I just slap in front of the glass door. We didn't have power for a week. The church at the entrance of our neighborhood that was almost finished. It was almost finished. Had to be rebuilt. It was just it was like a pile of debris almost. Had to be rebuilt. It was not a small church. It was a big church. But yeah, I just slept in front of the glass door. It was fine. But yeah, every time I see one of those like Midwestern memes where like a person's just chilling outside with a tornado in the background, I'm like, yeah, that's a mood. That's relatable. Like even now, my family and I probably don't handle tornadoes the way we should. Like we're aware of them. And we know where the safety area is. We have flashlights in case we need it. But like we just hang out in the living room by the glass door unless like the power goes out or somebody's like, yeah, there's a tornado right the street next to you. We just kind of hang out. But yeah, if I do disappear, know or end the stream suddenly, know that that is because I am being safe or because the power is out and I am going to somewhere safe. Or fetching my cat and then going to somewhere safe is most likely what I'm going to be doing. I have goals I want to get done, and no tornado's going to stop that. But I'm sure that those stories about my experiences with tornadoes has definitely assured you guys, right? Right, y'all are super assured, right? Cool. Glad I could assure you that I'm gonna be safe. Okay, not at all. Oh. Well, I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try to be safe. X to doubt. No, No tornado has hurt me yet. There we go. How about that? Also, I don't think I mentioned it on stream yet, but I am gonna slow down the amount of streams that I've been doing from like 3 or 4 to 2 to 3. Because I do want to prep for some things. For next year, that are gonna take a lot of prep work and a lot of decision making, and neither of those are things that I'm great at. But I'm gonna do my best. And hopefully, come most likely mid-January, but sometime in January, I will have some fun surprises. I'm working real hard. I want to tell you what these surprises are so bad, but I'm not gonna. But I am gonna hype up the surprises. I will say part of what I'm doing this year is a whole lot of soul searching for where I want to go next year. Because I improved a lot this year. I did so much this year. And I know I have a lot to go. I just need to decide, like, what I'm doing first and where I want to go first. So I'm doing some prep work and I'm doing some soul searching. So hopefully next year I can hit the ground running, bring y'all some amazing, amazing content and some fun, fun surprises. And, you know, yeah. I didn't want to take, like, an actual break for December. I will be taking, like, Christmas time off probably, but I didn't want to take, like, an actual December long break to prep everything, but I do think I need to slow down if I'm going to get it all done. We got 7 hands drawn. Look at us go. I hope it all goes well too. I'm so excited. I want to draw this hand. It's another fist, but it's gripping onto something. Well, I want to draw one of them. Let's draw this one. This one's a little bit more different from the other fist. don't want to take my time, though. I'm so excited. Some of these things I started planning, like, months ago. But because I was trying to stream 3 to 4 times a week, and for a while was also having a job, I was a little bit out of my element. I was like, got a little bit carried away. But hopefully slowing down with streaming, I can get stuff ready for better streaming. Okay, I'm gonna fight if this turns out like the other hand where I was holding something, or where I drew the hand holding something. Let's try. Okay. I don't think it curves that much. There we go. This side curves. This side does not. Yeah, less streaming equals more streaming. But, like, less streaming in December equals more streaming in January. Is kind of where I'm going. Well, technically, less streaming in December equals more streaming in 2022. Actually, not just streaming, but YouTube videos as well. I will tell you that secret. I won't tell you the content of the videos. But I am working on trying to get some ideas for YouTube videos. Have a couple of them. Yeah, are you hyped? Did that get you excited? It got me excited. Man, I've been wanting to do YouTube videos for years. But I didn't know how to do video editing, and I'm starting to learn. Figured out how to do speed paint, so I can start doing speed paints. That's not really a surprise. That's not one of the surprises. I just haven't gotten around to it yet. The surprises are more surprisey. Just gonna go ahead and cut that off right there. There we go. But yeah, get hyped. Alright, color time! Don't think I told you my goal for the amount of hands, but I'm aiming for hopefully 10 hands. That feels a lot darker than what the hand in the picture is, even though I dropped it. That's closer. Selection. Go. Make the fingies pink. And the fingernails pink. And with a little bit of like white on the bottom and the top. Because I know that that's what happens. There we go. And we can start doing a shading. Feel like this blue would not make a good shading tone. Let's do this blue. Oh, wait. Light for some reason is coming from a weird place. It's okay. It's okay. We can use practice. Shading from places we aren't expecting. After all, that's what the training arc is all about, right? Practice, getting better. Oh! I was wondering why it wasn't letting me shade the stick. That's because I was shading underneath it. Dun, dun, dun. Here we go, and then we're gonna put a light, bright yellow. This probably isn't harsh enough, but that's okay. I don't think I'm getting harsh enough on some of the, on like a lot of these pictures. But I think that's okay. Getting the idea down, and that's the important thing. Alright. Give me 1 second. Here's my plan. Here is my plan for this, since I did it for the last one. I'm gonna do it for this one and next two. After every hand I draw, I'm gonna check the weather. Yeah, we're still good. We're still good. That way you guys know I'm being safe. If you guys hear me check the weather, y'all know I'm being safe then. No more X's? You aren't gonna X me anymore? Right? I kinda wanna do a claw. I wanna do a claw and then I wanna do the heart hands. Believe I have a couple claws going on. I have these 2 claws. I feel like this one is gonna be more useful for me to have practiced. Alright. So, gonna start out with I didn't give my hand enough hand room. Start out with the wrist. Now we're gonna kinda feel out the shape of the palm. It's a bit of an odd shape because it's a claw hand. Is that a good shape? I think. Yeah. I think that'll be fine. Yeah, I think that's fine. Sometimes you just gotta add the bumps. Sometimes the bump makes the palm. I say like I'm not learning hands with everybody else here. Like I kinda know hands, but clearly I also kinda don't know hands. So I'm training. So I can up my hand game. Alright. Now here's the thing. I have a feeling this is because of the sensory processing disorder thing, but I'm not entirely sure. Whenever things overlap, I have trouble distinguishing them and understanding them. So, all these other hands that I've done haven't had a whole lot of like overlap where you can still see the fingers even though they're overlapping. The fourth hand is the fourth and the fifth hand are probably the ones with the most, and we know how much trouble I had with the fifth hand. But we're gonna give it a shot. We're gonna give it our best shot. But just be aware, if I make any silly mistakes, I'm struggling. I'm doing my best, but I don't always get what I'm doing, you know? And whenever I'm like bending the fingers, what I find easiest to do, getting back on track with hand talk, is I find it easiest to draw the back of the fingers first, since those tend to be straighter. then, like, the front of the fingers later, since those tend to be, like, curvy. I think I'm doing okay. Oh my goodness. I think I'm actually getting it. Okay, okay. I might have been super nervous about this one for nothing. We're gonna find out. And then this one starts bending almost immediately. I think I put the fingers a little bit too far back, so let me move those forward a little bit. Oh my goodness, did I get it in one? The heck? The heck? Am I actually good at this? Did I actually get good? You know, like a training arc should do for me? I think I might have gotten good. There we go, there we go. Like that looks pretty gosh darn close. Look at that. How exciting. We're gonna... Wait, not this one. Line art. Line art figure. Look at how good I'm doing. I was so nervous. And I did good. Imagine. It's almost like I'm improving. That's because I am improving. That's the secret. The secret is I am improving. And get a drink real quick. You can't see that. I feel like... Okay. There we go. There we go, there we go! Nice. Man, I'm so excited about this. And multiply and lower the opacity a lot. Blendy, blend, 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 blend. You know, I think if I were a coward, I would end this stream with this hand. But I'm not a coward. Oh. My pen pressure is having a little bit of difficulty. And then we're gonna make some lights. Some nice highlights. There we go, that's better. There we go. Alright. Okay. You're gonna scribble this out with a blue. And we're gonna go to the heart hands, and then I'm gonna check the weather once more. Yeah, we're good. We're good. We're safe. Actually, do we want to do heart hands or do we want to do like grasping hands? I want to do heart hands. Like heart hands are kind of easy. It's kind of a cop out. But it's okay. It's okay. We can end on a somewhat easy note. And the reason I say it's easy is because we only have to do one. That finger's too long. That friend up. Also only like part of a hand. are a couple reasons why heart hands are a little bit of a cop-out. But it's okay. See, that's why I say like I wanted to do a two-hand thing, but heart hands are a little bit of a cop out because you can just duplicate it and flip. But that's okay. I like heart hands. Oh well, thank you. I'll be good and I'll draw both of them instead of flip. But I did the hardest part by flipping. This one, doing this with line art is just to make sure there aren't any like little problems that come by not flipping the line art. Or by flipping the line art. There we go. We got our hands lined. Actually, I did miss something. There we go. Need selection. Things a little pink. Just a little pink. Not as pink as it was. Blend, 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 blend. Gotta love blending. These hands actually have nail polish, so I'm gonna put nail polish. Man, I'm so excited about this. I think my next training arc is probably going to be flowers, since that was the second one in the poll. Well, I say second one. It tied. Hands and flowers tied. I just figured flowers are probably a little bit more useful since I draw a lot of characters. Did I say flowers? I meant hands. Hands are more useful because I draw a lot of characters. But I do want to start doing more and more environments with my characters. I don't want to just draw characters. So slowly but surely I'm going to improve on a lot of different things. But figured since they tied, I was going to do hands first. So next training arc is going to be flowers. But like, let's take a little look. Let's flatten our image. Let's take a little look. We started out sketching because I didn't even think about doing full color at the first two. That was our first hand. It's not awful. I'm not bad at hands. I'm just not great at them. Starting out. Then we got into color. I definitely realized that I'm realizing now that I started like ixnaying some of the details. Ooh, thanks for the bit, Strider. In my later hands. And this is the hand that I had the most trouble with. But looking back on it, I think it actually turned out really good. I think it looks good. And this is probably my favorite hand. I think this is my favorite hand, and I think that it shows that this is my favorite hand. Okay, bye-bye. And then this is a really nice hand to do too, and it turned out pretty nice as well. Again, we can really start to see me losing detail as I go, but like, I love the shading on it. Something about the shading, just the highlights here, just look real nice. And we did this hand. And I was really proud of how far I got with like 9 with this hand, like how quickly I was able to get that figured out. I was scared of this hand, but I got it figured out pretty nice. And then we did some heart hands to finish it off. I think I could theoretically get one more hand done if I really wanted to. But I kind of like having the even 10. The even 10 drawings. Because that was my goal. Just have an even 10. So I think I'm going to stick with that. And here it is all together. Yeah, you can definitely tell which hand is my favorite. One of these hands looks very different from the other. But anyway, thank you guys for coming to my very first training arc session. I hope you had fun. If you drew along with me, I hope you learned a lot. I hope you improved like I did, because I think I improved. I don't think my hands are perfect yet, but I think they're definitely better. I don't think my hands will ever be perfect, because perfection's kind of impossible. But that's not the point. Thank you guys for coming. I hope this session was handy. I hope it was handy. And I hope to see you guys again. Let's see if somebody else is doing art. Ooh. Spatula's doing art. I like reading to Spatula. They're fun. Their art is so cool. Ooh, they're doing a live 2D rig. Let's go raid Spatula. I think that's all from me. Bye, bee.